I am here with Aliff. We are going to interview with one of my mother's good friend. She is called I call her Auntie Fiza, and she is our uh, participant for our questions that we're going to ask her now. Okay, so Auntie, our me and my partners topic that we were going to ask you is why do Malay tend to don't tend to free hair rather than wear hijab. So
Okay.
during this, we just want to hear the experience that you go through when you uh, you don't wear hijab. Okay, so this question is that how does you feel when you don't need hijab? When you take off, you don't wear your hijab. How do you feel?
I first and foremost, thank you very much for you and your other teammates, basically. Okay, wearing hijab, one should actually know why one wears a hijab. It is a requirement asked of the religion, okay, and it isn't a choice. However, when one chooses not to wear, he or she, usually not he, obviously, she would know or understand what the consequences are, what things she faces and things like that. Now, it is a choice for myself at the moment to not have them or not wear them. I'm not saying that I don't feel anything about it. Nevertheless, like I said, I have been brought up with enough religious education to know what I shouldn't, and what is asked of me in the religion as well. So I think the feeling of it is not, there shouldn't be any feeling apart from hoping and praying and full of du'as that one day I will obviously wear them, but not at the moment. And it's not a feeling that you can express or you can put it in words, but with but then again, it is something that I've always would want to. So inshallah.
I see. Inshallah, inshallah. Okay, so for my next question is that did any advertisement in the media influence your decision in not donning the hijab?
Right. I think it is the reverse, actually. Nowadays, there are a lot of advertisements that portrays women with hijab. Nevertheless, there are obviously other advertisements that shows, clothings and things like that, which is not appropriate for women that wears hijab. But I don't think that is any influencing. Well, not for myself, I must say. I am a firm believer of, I'm confident of who I am and what I am and what I want to do and what I don't want to do. So I do not think there's anything that says, oh, you should, if you wear this, if you wear hijab, you can't wear this sort of shirts or this sort of clothing. I don't think so, because I know what I want, and like, this is actually up to the person who is either a confident person and wants to make themselves look nicer, or not confident and wants them to make themselves look better. That would influence them, but not to myself, no.
I see. Okay. So for my third question is, how about your parents? Do they support your decision in not donning the hijab?
Right. I have been brought up, so we would just say one. Well, I've been brought up by my parents. Then a long time. My mother now she wears hijab, but not for the past few years, basically. So when she does wear them, that was her decision. I wouldn't want to say that she support my decision to not wear. Nevertheless, like I said, I'm old enough to think, and they have given me enough provided me with enough education to know what is good and bad and wrong and right. So that is totally my decision.
I see. Okay. For my fourth question is that if you have a sibling that is the same gender as you, do you want them to follow your footstep in the lifestyle you chose? So in the lifestyle that you not donning the
So
hijab.
not wearing them. Right.
Yeah.
I do have a sibling, and
Okay.
and she doesn't wear hijab as well.
I
Like I
see.
said, these are decisions of individuals.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think there's any influence, because you would find there are families that has sisters that wears hijab, but the younger sister doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And they all were educated in the same ustad. They go to the same sekolah agama and that sort of thing. But then again,
Mm-hmm.
these are individuals' decision,
Mm-hmm.
and mind, how strong-minded they are,
I
whether they
see.
want to or did not want to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Even though they come from the same background, they come from the same family. So my sister's
Mm.
decision isn't because I influence her or anything like that, or it isn't because my mother has not influenced her to not wear, but I believe that it's her own decision.
I see. Okay. So my last question for my part is do you have any role model that influence your decision of not donning the hijab, or you just when you go tend to go
Now,
out you
there
just
isn't a role model. I do not think there should be a role model for not wearing a hijab. If I do want to be a model, I would have looked like a model already, but that isn't my. But like I said, there isn't anything nowadays.
Mhm.
I believe some people should have role models, but then again, if it's not to the beneficial of who she or he
Mhm.
wants to be, then I don't think should, because I I am a firm believer of a person who is confident in him or herself, knows what he or she wants,
Mhm.
strong-headed, level-minded.
Mhm.
Because I think in this day and age, people are given enough information, people are given enough education. There are so many information available or education available by going for classes, internet,
Mhm.
everything.
I
So
see.
it is an individual, how shall I say, individual's decision,
Mm.
not influenced by anybody else.
Okay, I see, I see. Aliff, I will pass the mic over to you for the next
Ah,
few questions.
Okay.
hello, Auntie.
Hello.
Ah, okay, so we resume with the rest of the question.
Okay.
Okay, for the first question is, when you donning hijab, is it because of trying to fit in with certain social group, or because of you really want to?
Right. Okay. When I wear them, when I do attend religious activities or religious meetings and things like that, that is a sign of respect of where I want to go, the function that I'm
Yes.
going to. You know, I
Mhm.
cannot be going to a Ugama class by wearing skirts and, you know, with a head color and things like that. So in a
It's not
show of
appropriate.
respect,
Yeah.
obviously I would wear a tudung or wear a
Mhm.
hijab. And
Mhm.
like I said, and it is appropriate. Appropriate. I respect the person. I respect the function,
Mhm.
and I respect my religion as well. I do not
Ah,
never would ever want to embarrass my fellow Muslimin and Muslimat by
mhm.
attending this sort of thing,
Mhm.
not being logical of what I do wear. So those are the
I
places that I
see.
would wear them.
I see.
Okay. And for the second question, have you ever been influenced by your female friends to not discontinue not wearing your hijab?
Mm, if I have, then they will not be my friends anymore, because
That
because
is a
I
good answer.
no, it is honestly. I think a friend would be a person who is able to accept one person how she is.
Mm.
Obviously, you will always attract him or her. Basically, a friend would always attract another friend into being better, into being kinder, into being better and good and things like that. So if it's a Muslim friend and say, I don't, why do you want to wear a hijab, because you can't wear sexy clothing and things like that anymore, I would leave that friend. She will only be able to call me an acquaintance, not a friend anymore, because that would be a negative influence. You or one person actually is able to control. You should control who you are friends with, because that would influence your life as well.
Okay, moving on to the next question. Okay, does any of your friends downgrade you when you're wearing a hijab?
Right. My question to that, are they fellow Muslims or are they of other religion?
And just both sides.
Okay. Like I said, when I wear, if I'm within my Muslim friends and I wear them, there will always be good praise given for me, because it's, oh, I look lovely with this and things like that. Like I said, good friends would give only good vibes. Yeah. So they will say, oh, Alhamdulillah, you look so pretty like this and things like that. And I also kembang sikit lah. But if any of my if I'm wearing hijab with amongst my non-Muslim friends, they would be very, very, sometimes they are surprised, because then they will ask where I'm going and things like that. But then again, the few friends that I have, they will be very, very inquisitive and asking and ask, where am I going, what is it for, and be more inquisitive basically. And I think that is an opportunity at times to spread the good words as well, and show, look, I am Muslim. Yes, I do not wear hijab, but I do Muslim things. I do what a person of what a Muslim should be doing and things like that. In the in the month of prayer, in the month of Ramadan, I would fast and sometimes adhering or doing the Monday and Thursdays fasting, that sort of thing. I wouldn't be wearing a hijab, but then again, other people would want to know, oh, I thought Muslims usually need to wear hijab and things like that. And I say, yes, they do. And yes, it is asked of you. And I will make sure that they know that that is a requirement, that is what is asked of a Muslim woman. And then they say, oh, will you go to hell, because you don't wear this? And my answer is, I cannot answer that, because that's not for me to answer, or neither would you or not anybody else. Where do I go? But at the moment, I'm still doing what I do as a Muslim person, and it should not be any different to anybody else.
I see. Okay.
Okay. The next question. Did you experience any social isolation with the society when you don your hijab?
Never.
Never. So people don't distance themselves from you?
I think it's a stigma of how people look at people who are Muslims that are wearing hijab, as because the media now has given such a bad portrayal of Muslims. If you wear hijab, you are, all those sort of things. But like I said, at times, there should be not there should be. That is why I say when I'm with my non-Muslim friends and I do things which are practiced by Muslim people, then they become inquisitive. They ask questions, and that is the time that one can actually open up their eyes. Like when people say, "Oh, are you fasting? Oh, you're not wearing hijab, but why are you fasting?" And then I will explain to them what is what is hijab, why is it required of you, what is fasting, what is required in fasting, and then they will understand. So I've never been basically condemned or looked down upon when I wear hijab, because like I said, then I wouldn't be friends with those sort of people.
Okay.
Okay. And for the last question, how do Auntie Fiza overcome the perception of society towards you of not wearing hijab?
Right. We live in a society. A lot of people wants to be accepted. Obviously, everybody wants to be accepted in a society.
That's true.
However, that is how much of acceptance we want them or we want to be depends on ourselves, right? So, I believe, and I'm confident enough in myself to be within a society, be within friends, or be within acquaintances for that matter, not even friends, just acquaintances, colleagues and things like that, without having to have need to please all of them. One person cannot please everybody, because I was living in the UK, and if I want to please everybody, then I will have to go to the pub and drink. I don't do that. You know, if I want to be friends with everybody in my office, then I will have to go play darts. I don't do that. So you don't have to please everyone to be accepted. You only have to be confident in who you are, accept who you are, be very proud of who you are, and live your life as normal. And this is what I have always explained to my children as well. I've got 4 boys living in the UK, that never ever be embarrassed that they are Muslim. They can, because their friends are all non-Muslims, their friends are English, their friends are of other nation and things like that. Their friends are white, their friends are black, and they're not Muslim. So why should you, being a Muslim, be embarrassed of what you are? Never. So if you feel that way, then go find other friends.
Auntie Fiza, one last question from me. You said that you live in UK, right? So is it that you ever feel Islamophobia at there?
Like I said, it's actually a stigma,
Yeah.
but there is also a certain degree of truth in it, because only because I think some people are not educated enough to know what Islam is, because we have, like I said earlier, a lot of people know what Islam is through the eyes of media. They always connect us to terrorism, to all these negative things, and because these people aren't educated or are not aware enough, that is why I said we should be portraying it. I don't wear a hijab. This is not me, how shall I say, giving compliment to myself, yeah? But I don't wear a hijab. And I have a friend that wears a hijab, yeah? But how a person that wears a hijab carries him or herself, his akhlaq, her akhlaq, is the portrayal of the religion. There is no point of you wearing a hijab or saying you have all this janggut and wearing kopiah and things like that, but your akhlaq doesn't portray the same, doesn't portray the Islamic of it. And that's why people think, oh yeah, that's why they're gathering there, because they want to bomb the masjid or whatever it is, So it's your akhlaq, it's how you mingle with people, is how you speak to people. Don't be arrogant, because just because people say, you Muslims and things like that, you behave, or you are bombers and things like that, just brush it away, because these are words of people who are not educated. You should stand higher and be confident. Like I said, never be embarrassed that you are a Muslim, because at the end of the day, truth will prevail.
So, Aliff, you have any more questions?
Okay, I think that's all. That's all the question that
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Auntie Fiza, for lending us your time, for answering our questions. Thank you so
No
much.
worries. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. So that is all from us. And thank you for listening. And bye bye.
Stay
All right.
safe,
Thank you.
Auntie.